Hi there, this is Diane, one of 5 awesome optimists. Welcome and thank you for joining me today. I just read an interesting article through one of my favorite free newsletters, which I will totally include a link. I love Mercola.com, so there's my little shout out. And there was an article that is called Change Your Focus for Better Results. When I clicked on the link, it took me to a little experiment that said to close your eyes. Well, not to close your eyes. Sorry. Let me erase. Look around your room for 60 seconds and focus on anything that is red. Any shade of red, burgundy, hot pink, pink, red, crimson, whatever. And then you're looking around and you're like, okay, let's see that folder, the little map pins, whatever is red in your surroundings. And then close your eyes and list everything that is brown. And you're like, well, wait a second. I wasn't looking for things that were brown. I'm going to have to look again. No, but it's a fantastic experiment to show you that what you look at, what you search for, is what you'll see. Now, how does this have to do with optimism, which is always the core of all of my messages here on this 5 Awesome Optimists channel? Optimism is not something that you are necessarily born with. It is a skill that you can learn, and that is exactly what it is, that whatever you focus on is what you'll be able to see. I read an interesting quote called, "There are only idiots in the world. There's either happy idiots or miserable idiots. One are the optimists and the other are the pessimists." And I thought, if making a world with rose-colored glasses, or that you see things with a more positive slant, makes you a happy idiot, I'd certainly rather be one of those than a miserable one. And that reminded me of a very interesting experience that I had several years ago when I was snorkeling in Hawaii. Now, it was my first time ever being in Hawaii. And I was thinking, oh, how long have I wanted to snorkel here in Hawaii? And we went to what I now know is the least like Hawaii, which was Waikiki. But I had never known anything other than, what I had imagined in my mind. So everything was so gorgeous to me. And one of the later days that we were there, we went to this famous place for snorkeling called Haunama Bay. And we were given a little guide with tons of different kinds of fish that we would see. And it was sort of a waterproof guide, and so we could take it with us under the water. And we got a little thing of feed thing, and so the fish would come right up to us. And at first I was really scared to be under the water with all these fish like smack right next to me and swimming through my legs and around my head, and it was a crazy experience. But I was so just filled with wonder and total delight at the complete, absolute immersion of a whole new world. And I was so excited to learn that the new Disney movie Oceans was released on Earth Day. I have to go see it because it totally takes you to a world that most of us with our natural eyes will never be able to see. The most incredible creations for under the water. It's a completely different world than you or I know on a regular basis. So back to snorkeling. Here I am in all this awe and wonder, and I'm going, oh my gosh, look at this amazing, all these fish. And I see this lady. We were in between this coral, and she had the biggest snarl on her face, and she had little flipper fins, how you wear those to snorkel with, and she was walking across the coral on the top, absolutely complaining about what a terrible snorkeling experience that she was having. And she was like, oh, I can't believe it, all the coral is dead here. And I looked at her and I thought, are we snorkeling in the same place? Because I was just totally filled with this incredible feeling of, almost a sacred experience of how beautiful it was, all the creations. And so I asked her, I'm like, what's wrong? And she said, oh, all the coral's dead here. She was just complaining about like how stupid it was. And I thought, wow, she's totally missing the wonder and the joy and the beauty of what is here. She's looking at what's not here, but she's missing what is here, which are these incredible fish. There were rainbow fish, parrotfish, trumpetfish, every kind of fish that was on there, yellow tangs, blue tangs. And anyway, I asked her what was the difference, and she said she would go out on one of the other islands and actually just hop off a boat, and where she's just in the wild, where Honama Bay is a pretty famous place to go snorkeling. So of course I never knew anything different, and so I was so filled with gratitude. But who do you think had a better experience? Me. Did we experience the same thing? Yes. But because I was able to see what was amazing about it, my whole being was better. My whole demeanor, my whole chemical makeup inside, my happiness level was different because I chose to see what was there. And I know I've talked about this before, but when you have a rose, I just cut a bunch of flowers this weekend for a little arrangement I was making for one of my classes, and oh my gosh, I didn't even see the thorns, and I totally got cut up on my hands because I was so busy looking at the beautiful blossom. Are the thorns there? Yes, they're there. Are the leaves there? Yes, they're there. But I wasn't looking at that. And so I'm not saying that you need to be blind to all of those other things. Acknowledge them, accept them, validate them, appreciate them, but then make a conscious choice to love the good parts. And there was a woman who, when she got married for the second time, she told her husband, 80% of me is good and 20% of me is a work in progress. As long as you focus on the 80% that's good, we'll do great. And I have come to ponder that, because it's true, most of us are mostly good, and we are a work in progress on the parts of us that we know we need to overcome. But that is part of the reason, I think, of why we're here on the earth, is to overcome and learn how to be more self-mastering. And I think one of the greatest things that we can do to discipline ourselves and to learn that kind of self-mastery to become our highest self is to learn how to be optimistic and learn not just to see the best in ourselves, but to see the best in others. And I had a student who one time told to me, and I teach English too, duh, he said, teacher, if I had teachers like you when I was growing up, I would probably be a doctor today. What a huge compliment that was. And I taught adults, adult immigrants, and this man was from Syria. But, if you look at the bad in people and you focus on the bad in people, you're going to get the bad from people. But if you focus on the good in people, you're going to get the good from people. Don't you want that? So whether that makes you a happy idiot or just a happy person, it's a really beautiful, blessed way to see the world, is to see what's great about it. There's certainly enough sources out there that will, hail and go on and on about the gloom and doom. There's enough of that. You're not going to not get that. But it takes like 5 positive things to just neutralize a negative thing. So be part of that. Be part of that part. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next Thursday. I'm Diane, one of 5 awesome optimists.